Just got out of my appointment. He was super nice and he didn't even charge me. That was really, really nice of him. And you can kind of see those spots right there. I don't know where this one is. You can probably see it. They do what's called a cannula. It's only one poke and then they do everything underneath the skin. But to make sure that all of it is gone, I'm going to be coming back in a week and doing more dissolving. So he said that he got most of it. I don't know if I can tell the difference. I just want to make sure that it's completely gone. So next week I'll come back and we'll do it all over again. One side of the face is more sensitive than the other. So around the eyes, a lot of people get kind of scared, you know, with needles in the face. It's actually not that bad. I mean, there's like the initial little poke and then that's about it. So for me, my right side is not as sensitive. So I just felt like one tiny little poke and it wasn't that bad other than that. So they poke over here and then you feel this thing like kind of moving towards like over here. It's more like psychological because then you're just kind of like weirded out by it, but it doesn't hurt. And then on the other side, on the other hand, like I can still kind of feel the like, kind of like a discomfort a little bit in the area that they worked on, but he was so fast. It took less than 5 minutes. I haven't been to too many places here in Denver, but as long as you know exactly what you want, he's really good at what he does because he does so much filler, so much Botox. If you're in Denver, it's Happy Clinic. Their website's like Happy Clinic Denver. I'll probably leave their information below if you're in the area, and it's Dr. Wynn. So there's usually another doctor or a nurse that works there as well because they do get so busy that he gets booked up. Still feel this side. I almost feel like I want to ice it because this one, like on this side, it went in so easy. Like I didn't even realize that he had already injected it and everything. But he did it all at once and it was just done so fast. This side, I was definitely feeling, I wish I could have taken you guys in there with me, but maybe next week, I don't know. We'll see. I was actually very happy and very impressed with this appointment. They do have really good prices. Now, I wouldn't necessarily recommend going somewhere just because they're cheap. Definitely be very careful with that. Do a lot of research on what location you want to go to and reviews. Make sure that you're not going somewhere just because it's like a good price and a good deal. But just because they're expensive doesn't mean they're better either. So just make sure that you do your research, especially when it comes to fillers and injectables. There are things that can go wrong. There are potential risks. It's pretty safe for the most part, but you could potentially have an allergic reaction or something like that. So you want to make sure that you're going to someone that knows what they're doing, has done it a lot, has done the specific part like of your body that you're doing. So like, say you're doing lips or under eyes, especially under eyes. Under eyes, you definitely want to go to someone that's done it a lot because it is a very thin tissue and it's very easy to mess it up. Not to mention that artery that goes right here. If they mess that up, that could go really wrong. Luckily, I still have my eyesight and I've had my under eyes filled probably about, I'm going to say 4 times total, but I've had many different injections around the area, like a lot. So between dissolving and all of that, I'm not sure how many appointments I've had to do that, or sometimes they touch it up. So they might have you come back 2 weeks later to take a look at it. So just like this time, he figured that he did quite a bit and it's like flat and even, but he told me that if I feel like I want it to be exactly back to what it naturally was, to do one more appointment. So that was really nice of him to just, because I asked him, I was like, so will that be 2 charges because it's 2 appointments? Because already it was super cheap, but I knew that it was because they do so much filler because I've already known that from the years that I've gone to him. So he said, oh, actually, I won't charge you. And I was like, oh, wow, because my plastic surgeon said that it costs more for the dissolvent than the filler. Yeah, sitting in there when like I was getting so anxious, just like anticipating the needles and everything. No one likes needles. I get totally freaked out. But I've had a lot of injectables in my face in the past years, not like recently. Like all my Botox is completely worn off. Trust me on that. So I know there's certain areas that hurt and certain areas that don't. For my face in particular, some people say that Botox hurts, and Botox, like it pokes, like there's a little bit of a prick and you feel like the little popping, but it's like, it's almost like when it's being injected into the tissue, like you feel like a little like pop type. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's really not anything that scary. The needle's so tiny, that's why it doesn't hurt as much, but it can sting a little bit as the liquid's being injected. But it's really not that bad. But some people, they're like, oh, it hurts so bad. So, I mean, everyone has different sensitivity to their skin. But for me, in my experience, lips are the one exception on the face. If you get your lips done, make sure that they numb your mouth. When you're getting your lips filled, it literally only takes 5 minutes to get it done and over with. So it's only pain for that long, but that pain is serious. Like, for example, if you've ever had a pimple, like around, like anywhere around your lip or whatever, and you've tried to pop it, like, you know, your eyes are watering and it just stings. It's like that, but like all the way through your lips, like anywhere that the needle's going. The first lady that I went to get my filler done, she said that there's lidocaine in it, so it numbs as it's going in. So she didn't need to numb my mouth, which is half true. There is lidocaine in it. It does numb your mouth, but the point is that the needle hurts when it's going in. So once it's injected and once it's all done and over with, your mouth will be numb. But the point is the needle is what hurts. So Dr. Nguyen, when he did it, he numbs your entire mouth. So he numbs the entire muscle around it. So you cannot feel a thing. I would recommend that 100 times. Now you can feel the numbing shots. So they like give you shots underneath your lip, like all on your gum line, just because it feels more like of a spa experience than like sitting there cringing, eyes watering, you know, painful, however long they have to do it. Because hopefully they're fast, because if they don't know what they're doing, it might take a little bit longer. Yeah, so I would highly recommend numbing your entire mouth first, but you sometimes have to ask. Anywhere else on the face, it really just doesn't hurt. Like you can feel a little bit of a poke, but the one side of your face is going to be more sensitive. So on that side, you actually feel it a bit more. It will sting a bit more, but it's really so mild. Like it's not what you would expect from needles going into your face. Like you would expect it to be excruciating, and it's really not bad. Cheek fillers, not that bad. It's mainly like you feel pressure because they get so close to your cheekbone. But anywhere else, like around the eyes, it just stings a little. Totally worth it. So now I am on my way back. I have to take Elvis's little poop sample. He's getting fixed next week, so I went in for his checkup and a little turd in a bag. I mean, it's in a little container and then in a bag. So I need to get that in because I had picked up a sample already about a week ago after his first checkup, and I never went back in because it's a little ways from me. I wanted to go to the veterinary with the best rating, and that it's about 25 minutes from my house. So I haven't gone out of my way to drop it off, but then I looked in the container and it was so gross. It was all moldy and disgusting. So I had to dump that out, rinse out the container, and get a new sample because it needs to be fresh. They don't want you to necessarily bring in one that's been sitting there for a few days. So I'm going to do that today. I'm going to take it in, drop it off. It's kind of scary to go by yourself to these types of things when they're like poking you and whatnot. So here's an update. I think it's been a couple days since I had the filler dissolved. I forgot to get back on and update you guys. I was dealing with having my dog fixed and everything, but there wasn't really anything crazy to film, so I figured I could catch you up a couple days later because it looks about the same. I am wearing makeup right now and the lighting's pretty decent. I mean, you can still kind of see like what's going on, but I mean, it looks a lot rougher without makeup on, but that has nothing to do with like the procedure. That's just so, but you can kind of see now, like before, there used to be a little bit more of that poof right here, and that is completely gone. I have extreme hollows. I always have. I don't know. It definitely made an immediate difference. So the first day, it was a little bit just like, I guess maybe a little swollen just because the skin hadn't adjusted and gone back to how it was. But by the very next day, any swelling that might have been there from the needle going through was totally gone. And if anything, it felt like it felt a little bit tight right here, which is kind of weird. And I mean, it was just, I think it was probably because if you think about it, there's like an area that has some kind of fluid and it's been there for about a year, and then all of a sudden it's gone. So once that happens, I mean, your body probably just is like, oh, there's something missing. But other than that, I mean, no pain, no swelling whatsoever. You could still see like, and I mean, you can kind of see it right here. That was like the little dot. It kind of just looks like I had a little breakout because on this side, side, that's a pimple. And then the part where they poked me was like over here or something. So it just kind of looks like there was a little pimple or something. So, I mean, you can just kind of, one side is worse than the other. This side has more of a hollow than this side. And then tomorrow is actually my next appointment. So yeah, wow, that's quite the difference. It's probably just the lighting that's accentuating the one side, but definitely the one side. I mean, nobody's face is symmetrical. So yeah, so tomorrow I'm gonna take you guys with me to do it again, just to make sure that all of it is completely gone. I'll see if I can take you guys in with me to the office and ask if they'll let me show you guys how it works. That'd be pretty cool, but talk to you guys tomorrow.